Postcards from a Magician tells Bill Peterson's personal story of becoming a magician and takes the audience on a magical journey through the cities where he learned his craft. As the journey unfolds, the audience helps shape and influence the show, and it becomes clear that no words, picture, or postcard can fully capture the experience. On today's show, I'm speaking with magician Bill Peterson about his upcoming performances at the Fundy Fringe Festival. You can catch him all throughout the week, starting on Tuesday, August 18th, and the show runs right to Saturday, August 22nd, 2026. Head on over to his website, aneveningofcloseupmagic.com, to find all the specific information about the Fundy Fringe Festival. All right, here's my chat with magician Bill Peterson. Okay, thanks a lot for coming on the show today, Bill. I appreciate you giving me some of your time to talk about your show at the Fundy Fringe next week, Postcards from a Magician. Maybe you can give my listeners a sneak peek of what they can expect from your show next week.
For sure. Thanks for having me on, Jay. Postcards from a Magician is an immersive theatrical experience that I've created to give my audience something new other than just a show with magic. And so the basic premise is it's an immersive theatrical experience, and the audience comes along the journey to the various cities that I've traveled to learning magic. And then with each city, there's a different story and a different piece of magic attached to it. And the Fundy Fringe Festival was the perfect time to bring that to life.
And this kind of brings together your full 20-year career.
Yeah, so I've been performing magic I've been learning and performing magic for over 20 years. And I perform all over the Maritimes, St. John, Fredericton, all of New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, Halifax, and PEI. And for a large number of corporate events, fundraisers, conferences, as well as private functions.
And do you find, you mentioned traveling from different cities and learning there. Does each region or each city kind of have their own genre of magic, the kind of way like music scenes kind of build out?
It's really like there's different magicians in different cities, and there's different places that you can learn magic. But it's not like when it was first coming out in the 1900s, Chicago, was home to Harry Blackstone and Eugene Berger and magicians like that. So that it made itself home to card magic and parlor shows. But for the most part, I've just traveled all over San Diego, Orlando, different parts of US and Canada, learning magic for over the last several years.
Would you be chasing someone down or like trying to track down a particular magician to learn a trick from when you go to these different locations?
No, not exactly. But I mean, different magicians, they actually will create a piece like
they'll kind of teach you how to do it for your show?
Right.
Huh. Right. Wow, that's interesting. I would never have ever thought about that.
Right.
And so you'd have to go to them because magic's a physical in-person experience. You'd have to go to them to learn the trick.
Well, you don't have to. They have videos and they have videos that they sell and stuff like that. Sometimes they give lectures where they break down certain things, certain magic tricks and ideas and concepts so that you can modify and make your own. So.
Okay. Wow. That's fascinating. That's quite a twist. I wouldn't have expected that, I guess.
And ironically, I was down at the Halifax Buskers Festival last week, and I met one of the magicians that I actually perform one of his pieces of magic, albeit modified, but I learned it from him, and I actually perform it in my show. And I got to meet him and be part of his show at the Buskers Fest, and it will be part of my show in the Fundy Fringe Festival.
Okay, so that's kind of like a full circle moment a little bit. That's really neat.
Yeah.
So you mentioned it'll be an immersive show. Now, magic, I guess magic's not always immersive, right? But so this one in particular will have a lot of audience interaction.
Yeah, so I say the word immersive for a very specific reason. My shows are interactive, where there's a lot of audience participation. But this one is going to be very theatrical in nature. And when I say immersive, I mean they really are going to go on a journey. It's actually kind of exciting because this is the first and the biggest theatrical production I've produced. So there's going to be stage settings with props and stuff like that. But when I say immersive, I mean there's going to be a flight attendant. There's going to be a boarding gate. In fact, I have real postcards from a magician made, and on the back is a boarding pass.
Cool. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so it's going to be the sound and stuff like that. It's all going to be very much a fun journey of magic.
How does doing something on stage, like a theatrical presentation, compare to doing, I guess, street level or kind of right at the fingertips of an audience? What's the comparison there?
Well, there's close-up magic, which I perform also, as well as stage magic. And I was just down in Digby at Digby Pines performing for a corporate event, and I did both walk around magic and a stage show. And the difference is close-up magic, again, mostly cards and rings and items, coins, and it's close up. A stage show is more of a display of magic that audiences can enjoy from a further distance away.
So they might not necessarily be, is immersive the right word there too? Like stage magic may not be as audience involved, or?
I'm using the word immersive, which is very unique. I've never associated the word immersive with my magic before. I've always said it was interactive. But the reason I'm saying it's immersive this time is because it is a theater production, and we're putting so much into it in way of the experience for the attendees. So a flight attendant, a boarding gate, stage props that make it feel like that.
So there'll be like a narrative, like a type of show that kind of weaves its way through the whole performance.
Yeah, they're basically as if they're going on the plane with me to San Diego, California, and then I tell a little story and then share a piece of magic with them from there. Okay. And then we go to another destination.
Yeah, that sounds pretty exciting. How do you practice magic leading up to performances?
Well, a lot of people, I'm a very active professional magician. So I perform all over the Maritimes all the time. So I'm a very busy and active professional magician. So I get a lot of practice by performing, right? But when I incorporate something new, a new piece of magic, it just takes hours and hours and hours of practice, oftentimes in front of a mirror and then in front of an audience, and then tweaking it over time.
Would it be maybe similar to stand-up comedy, where it's not until you're in front of the audience that you really get a sense of it, and then that allows you to tweak it based on an audience reaction?
Right, absolutely, yeah. So again, there would be the writing and the creative part to it, and then the performance where they practice it in isolation in front of a mirror or audio and stuff or video, and then there's the introduction to the general public with it, and then there's the tweaking as you start to realize, okay, well, I need to tweak it here, or the audience really was engaged with this component of it, so we're going to bring that out more and stuff like that. So
okay, so some of that can unfold kind of organically, and I guess the audience may react to certain sections you didn't necessarily expect.
Correct. Like you might say something off the cuff, impromptu, and it gets a huge reaction. Then you incorporate that into your shows, right? So, one of the examples is for corporate events, I often get them to write down a random object on a piece of paper, and then we do some mind reading and stuff. But when I'm giving the instructions, I say, think of a simple random object PG-13. And it always, there's nothing inherently funny about that, but they laugh because when they say, oh, I can think of anything and then write any item down, they go way outside the box, and then I reel them back in with PG-13 and they find it very comical.
Okay. Yeah, that's a great example. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So in my mind, a lot of times, because I come from a music background and I used to tour around and play songs, I kind of like bring a lot of these other professions and artistic displays into my mind and compare them to music. So I'm kind of wondering, like, the magician scene in the East Coast, is there a tight-knit scene of regularly working magicians that would be kind of similar to the music industry?
I would say that, and again, there's a lot of musicians. Like, there's a lot of musicians that do a circuit around the different bars and pubs, But when it comes to magicians, especially professional working magicians, they're very few and far between. It's there are a lot of magicians and stuff that are amateurs. And when I say amateur, I don't mean not good. I mean they don't get paid to perform in public, and they don't make their living that way, but there's very few professional magicians, especially like me, that travels all throughout the entire Maritimes, performing for all these corporate events and conferences and private functions. And yeah.
So you'd be on the road quite a bit throughout the year.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's about 60,000 kilometers a year.
Oh, dang. Yeah. That's pretty good distance. Yeah. A couple times across Canada and back.
Yeah.
So do people request, I guess I'm imagining you being requested like as a return magician for maybe a conference or like a corporate event. Do people request certain tricks to be performed?
Not as part of the requirement for them booking you, but when you're there, they're often like, oh my God, you have to see what he's done this time or that time. Or, I seen him at another event and he's, oh my God, can you please show them this? So you do get that a lot.
Okay.
So
That's cool.
And I can share some magic with you, even though we're in this format.
Yeah, they won't. The listeners won't be able to see it, but they can imagine it. Yeah, and I'd love to do that. I was going to just briefly mention that the Fundy Fringe Festival must be an exciting place to kind of like perform magic in front of, because it's such a unique and open-minded festival. But yeah, maybe we should just dive right into the magic. I wouldn't mind being wowed here virtually.
Sure. I think you'll find this really amazing. Now, of course, Jay, you can see me and I can see you. Okay. And but for our listeners, I'm just holding a deck of cards inside the box. Yes?
Correct. Yep.
Yes. Now, Jay, I'm going to keep that box in front of you so that you know that there's nothing crazy going on. I'll keep both of my hands in front of you as well. And I want you to imagine in your mind one of the playing cards that would be found in a deck. Now, that's not really fair because people actually think of cards in a certain hierarchy or order.
Okay.
Right? So here's what I want you to do, Jan. I want you to clear your mind, and I just want you to think of a random number, let's say between 1 and 10, but really mix it in your mind. Don't say it yet.
Okay.
You have one in mind?
I do, yeah.
Yes. Now, there's no way I would know what you're thinking. Right?
As far as I know, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, there's 4 suits: hearts, diamonds, clubs, spades. I want you to think of one of those. And don't pick your favorite. Just imagine it on a wheel, and there's 4 different suits, and you spin the wheel, and it randomly lands on one.
Okay.
Yes?
Yep.
So now, Jay, you've created a truly random card. You've randomly thought of a number, a random suit. That's created a random card that you wouldn't normally have thought of. Mm-hmm. Yes? What was that card? You can tell all our listeners.
7 of diamonds.
7 of diamonds. Now, Jay, the deck has been here the whole time in front of you, and so have my hands. I'm going to open the deck fair and square, okay? Mm-hmm. I'm going to keep it in place the whole time. You said 7 of what?
Diamonds.
Diamonds. I'm going to spread through the cards, okay? And there should be one card face down, is there?
Yeah, there is, yep.
There is. I'm going to pull that one card out, Jay. And which one was it?
7 of diamonds. I wish my wife was here to see that.
The 7 of diamonds.
Yeah.
Thank God you didn't change your mind, eh?
I thought about it. All right, I'm a believer.
So that's a lot of fun. And, I mean, it's not just card magic that I do. I do other things with rings and string and stuff. The challenge is I often will borrow a ring.
Okay.
So that they know that it's not like a gimmicked ring or something like that, you know? But you can clearly see, the items, right? And then there's coins. And I don't know if this will play well or not, but how about I do the ring and the string?
Sure. Yeah, go for it.
Okay. What I do is I get people to actually check out the ribbon.
Okay.
So that they know, and your audience can hear as I pull on that's a solid piece of red ribbon, and it's a solid ring, okay? I'll show you in the camera, but you can see it's just a standard ring.
Yep.
Yes?
Yep. You're holding it up close. I
Perfect.
can see it clearly.
Yes. And Jay, I'm going to put it onto the string near the middle, and you can see, because I have the ribbon stretched out and the ring in the middle of it, you can see it bouncing around onto the string, yes?
Yes, I can. Yep.
Yeah. Yes. Now, so you have to believe, Jay, that the ring is really on that string. Okay. Now, I like the ends of the ribbon to be approximately the same length so that you know it's in the middle. Okay.
Okay.
And normally I would say, are you left or right? But I'm going to hold it for you and you can see the ring on there. Yes.
Yep.
Listen carefully. You're going to hear it come off. Listen.
Yeah.
And you could hear it come off. And Jay, I wish the audience could see it, but I'm going to visually put it through again, and you can see it on there. Yes.
Yep.
Can you see it on there?
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
Okay. Watch close, Jay. I'm going to pull it right through, right in front of your eyes.
Yeah. Okay.
And finally, Jay, one more time. The only way, now that this ring is back on that string, I'm going to tie the two ends together, okay? Can you confirm that I've actually made a true knot in there?
Yes. As far as I can see,
Yes.
it's a true knot. Yep.
Yes, so what we have is the ribbon with the ring on it, and the two ends are now tied together, okay? And if I hold the ring and the loop together, and I would normally get somebody to hold the knot itself, okay? But you can see the knot. Yes?
Yes. Yep.
I'm going to pull the ring, and that's the hard part. The hardest part, Jay, is throwing the ring back on. That's the hardest part.
That's weird. That's wild.
That's a lot of fun, right?
Yeah, that is pretty fun. Yeah.
It's something when you can actually see it for yourself, right?
Yeah, you know what? I don't think I've ever been involved in a magic trick, so it's kind of a first for me.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like, the whole gist of Postcards from a Magician at the Fundy Fringe is that the truth about it is that no description, no photo, no postcard is going to fully explain the experience. You're just going to have to be there.
Something that you need to witness with your own eyes and participate in as an audience member.
It's true, yes.
That's awesome. And that'll be, of course, that starts next week. I believe the first show is Tuesday, the 18th at 8:15, Wednesday, August 19th at 5 p.m., Thursday, August 20th at 9:30 p.m., Friday, the 21st of August at 7 p.m., and Saturday, August 22nd at 4 p.m.
Yeah, there's different dates and times, and there is a big tease, which is kind of like open to the public on the 17th of August, where they can actually come and everyone's going to kind of talk a little bit about each of the shows for about 10 minutes. Some people may do some of the jokes, some people may do some of the other events, and of course I will be sharing a piece of magic. But they can come out and get a sense of what those shows are like, and then figure out which one they want to go to.
Plan accordingly. And there's plenty of opportunities with the different times. That's a great opportunity to kind of, if depending on what your schedule allows, that's plenty of opportunity to check out the show.
Yeah, I mean, if I wouldn't wait for the Friday and Saturday shows necessarily, because the venues are all quite small, like 100 or so. So they could sell out, and then you'd miss out completely if you waited the whole week.
Gotcha. Okay, so check out an earlier show if possible. Where's the best place for them to check you out besides the Fundy Fringe Festival, Bill?
Well, I have a website, an eveningofcloseupmagic.com, or if you want something easy to remember, tadamagic.com.
Awesome. Well, I think it's going to be a fantastic show. I'm impressed. Like I said, that was the first time I didn't really realize it, but that was the first time I've been involved in a magic trick. So, I don't know. I don't know how I feel. That was pretty fun. So if that's what it was like virtually, I can only imagine how exciting it would be in person in the flesh. So,
right. Yeah, it's a different experience when you're participating in it.
I really appreciate you giving me some of your time today, and I hope the shows go well. Fundy Fringe is an exciting festival, so I'm glad you're participating.
I appreciate it, and I'm happy to be there, and I'm excited to share some incredible magic with the audience.
Beautiful. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Jay.